G'day, it's Pane here. I run my own coaching and training business, and I'm also a senior facilitator for the Coaching Institute. And if you tuned into this video, perhaps because you're wanting to explore this topic called procrastinating or procrastination. I've got to tell you that procrastination is probably one of the most common reasons why people came and saw me when I was coaching full time over a period of many years. I've trained over 2,000 coaches. I've done well over 2,000 coaching hours, and there's only a handful of reasons why people come to a coach. And one of those handful of reasons is procrastination, where people feel stuck and they don't know how to get out, or they're continually looping around in their lives, pretty much experiencing what is known as Groundhog Day. So what is procrastination, and for what purpose? Why is it that we do this thing called procrastination? Well, in essence, it's pretty simple. It's that we procrastinate in order to stay safe. We procrastinate in order to defend the territory that we're familiar with, to defend our comfort zone, to be protective of the place that we know very well. My experience shows me as a human behavioural expert that in excess of 70% of the population is actually driven by the need for certainty. And we will do anything to defend what it is that we already know. And a lot of people are actually afraid of embracing the unknown. And we all know that at the end of the day, if we're not growing, we're dying. And growth is actually happening at the edge of the comfort zone. The fellow who wrote the book, Conversations with God, Neil Donald Walsh, he said that life begins at the edge of the comfort zone. Inside our comfort zone is contained everything that we already know. It's everything that we are already good at. It's a great place to go, to rest, recuperate, reflect, and enjoy our lives. Absolutely an important place. But if we only live in that place, and we procrastinate moving outside of that, and therefore meaning that we stay only in our comfort zone, you'll find that after a while your comfort zone stops expanding and it starts to shrink. And if we don't actually squeeze life, in other words, if we don't actually embrace life, inevitably it will squeeze us. So if we're not growing and expanding our comfort zone, it's going to choke us one day. And this is what people experience as a crisis moment or a midlife crisis. My experience has shown me that living here in Australia, a lot of 35 to 45-year-olds actually experience this thing called midlife crisis. Whether it's because they've become aware that they've been going up the wrong tree with their career, whether they're starting to question whether they're in the right relationship, or whether they're even indeed living in the right country. These are all clues that they haven't spent enough time outside their comfort zone to expand their comfort zone. So procrastination is one of the key aspects that our ego loves for us to involve itself in. And the ego part of our mindset, the ego part of our reality of being a human being, is that the ego actually does have a purpose. Its purpose is simple. It's to protect us and to keep us safe. And this is really important to know when it comes to procrastination. I'll tell you why. Because way back in the day when we only had to be concerned about finding our next meal and running away from the saber-toothed tiger and only being concerned around, this animal and that animal, these threats, when these threats come we need to run, known as a flight syndrome. Well, the author, the creator of that was the ego. The ego was the centerpiece to keep us alive. Now, of course, for most of us, we live in a society where we don't have to run away from a saber-toothed tiger or from a lion or any kind of beast. And these beasts have now become psychological cutouts. They have become unreal. Not real. So these are the things that we've created in our mind that we start running away from. So we start running away from opportunities for us to experience the very thing that we actually are, which is an experience, a direct experience of our own magnificence. See, there's an urban myth in the world of personal development that we have a fear of failure, there's a fear of success. There's no such thing as fear of failure or fear of success. What we are actually afraid of is our own magnificence. And we will procrastinate in the most elegant of ways in order to not experience that. Because our ego doesn't want us to know that part about us. That's that part of us that continues to live when our bodies stop functioning. It's a part of us that was never born, it's a part of us that will never die. Some of us refer to that magnificence as our God self, soul, heart, Christ consciousness, quantum physics, Buddha consciousness, whatever you want to call it, whatever the label is that we have for it, it's the same thing. And ego doesn't like us to be exposed to that. Because if we were to be exposed to that, we will start to be on the road of self-discovery in the context of how great we truly already are. So procrastination is an elegant strategy that we all run, whether it be in our relationships, whether it be in life in general, whether it be in our career, because we would rather stick with the familiarity of certainty and comfort zone than to explore the unknown. Let me give you one quick example before we wrap up this video today. You may have heard of in relationships where you have a woman who's being violently abused by the man, and logically it makes no sense that she keeps going back to him. Like, logically it just makes no sense. Why would she want to go back to him? But from a human behavioural perspective, and when it comes to procrastination, it actually makes total sense. Let me explain to you. Is that we will do anything to defend our certainty in our comfort zone. In actual fact, no matter how messed up our comfort zone is, and in the case of this woman being violently abused by the man, as messed up as that comfort zone is, yeah, I know it doesn't make sense. Why would she can't be comfortable living in that space. That's not exactly what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that she is actually familiar with the area of that experience, and we will defend certainty at the face of the unknown, even though it's messed up. In other words, a lot of people believe that the purpose of life is to actually gain absolute certainty in everything in their lives. Certainty in their relationships, certainty in their finances, certainty in their health, certainty in life, certainty in career. And certainty, ironically, is one of the greatest illusions that we could possibly ever invest our time and energy into. Because certainty, there is no certainty. We can't even guarantee that we're going to be alive tomorrow. There's no certainty in relationships. Life can change like that. Our financial situation can change like that. The economy changes like that. The weather changes. Everything can change like that. Where's the certainty? So the best way, the number one way for you to fulfill your need for certainty, so you can master procrastination, in other words, to get over procrastination, to move on, is that the number one high quality way of meeting your need for certainty is by backing yourself in the space of uncertainty. It's been said that the more uncertainty that you can handle, the more uncertainty that you're choosing to expose yourself to, the more success you will have in life. The more success you'll have in whatever area of life you want to succeed in. So procrastination is an elegant strategy by the ego to keep us safe and to protect us so we can keep doing the same old. Because the ego loves repetition, the ego loves the familiarity of the same. And that's why we have so many people in this world who are depressed, feeling flat, at a midlife crisis, or as the famous American philosopher said, I can't remember his name right now, but he said that a lot of people in Western society are living lives of quiet desperation. So that's, to me, another version of procrastination. So I trust this short clip has shed some light on this thing called procrastination, and I look forward to seeing you in other videos for topics of a similar kind of a nature. So wonderful speaking with you. Hope to meet you sometime. Thank you.